Cabia was born and raised here in Sierra Leone. And then she worked as a midwife in England. That's where she stayed for 45 years. Well, she didn't stay in England all the years. Again and again, she gets on a plane and comes back to her home country, to Freetown and the small town of Lunsar, bringing her professional knowledge with her. In the middle of Lunsar, just behind the market square, she has set up an outpatient center for counseling pregnant women. And the consultation takes place in the country-specific version. The lyrics of the song go something like this. If you are weak and pale, go to the doctors. You're missing something. And then there is the village of Magbil, to which Mama Cabia will take us today.
They are out and they really need the help.
And during the trip, we get a lot of interesting information.
Some of them that come to the safe motherhood, they don't even have the money to pay.
In between, we turn off the main road, drive along small lakes, fields, and bushland. Spread over 26 villages, almost 8,000 people live in the district. And Magbil, where we are now arriving, is the center of it. Mama Cabia is greeted enthusiastically. Those are pregnant women who receive their guests so euphorically, and this time she even brought guests with her. In addition, she has been caring for the people of the villages for 28 years. At that time, she set up the center that takes care of pregnant women and small children. Around the birth, the women even remain stationary, and in the near future, it will be upgraded to a general emergency department. The women are happy that someone cares about them, but a lot has changed recently.
And the poverty is not decreasing. This is the worst years that we have experienced in Sierra Leone. If you live in an open place like this, it's not secure to start with. If you put plantation, it will not survive.
Poverty in the country has increased, and with it, the insecurity for the people. How can women be cared for more safely? The head of the center tells of her grief. And how can the planned vegetable patches on the site be protected from foreign harvesting? The only option would be a large, sturdy safety fence.
But if the fence is around, we will get a little bit out of this place.
But that won't work so easily. Quite simply, there is not enough money for this. One of today's guests is Dr. Lena Schweiger-Hemmelsbeck, and that will prove to be a stroke of luck. Lena is currently not only active as a doctor in Lunsar, she is also a member of the Rotary Club of Neustadt an der Donau. And when she talks about Magbil's project at a meeting, the club provides €3,000. The Association für Sierra Leone e.V., led by Dr. Scheider, organizes the transfer. And his manager on the ground, Joseph Cole, has withdrawn the money from the bank. With a tuk-tuk, we set off to pick it up from him. Hassan accompanies me because being alone with the sum of cash is generally explained to me as highly risky. But now an unexpected problem begins. The largest banknote in the country has a value of $1, and many of the notes handed over are only 5 cents. €3,000 have become 70,000 leones, which just fit into a large, sturdy shopping bag. It weighs around 20 kilograms, and I'm glad Hassan carries it for me. But I have the money with me for the next 4 days on my trip, and often enough I have to stow them away myself. No one is allowed to know about its contents. 4 days later, Mama Cabia has arrived back in the country and is picking me up from another program. Finally, I don't have to take care of the shopping bag alone anymore, and we'll get rid of it right away anyway. Lunsar is not far away. Hussein, the owner of the building materials shop, is just opening his shop. A perfect timing. And it's nice that there is some shade right away. Here you can obviously buy everything that is needed on a building, even safety equipment. To start our shopping, I get the cash out of the car. So, like Mr. Cole a few days ago, Mr. Hussein now has to count the packets of money for 15 minutes. At the end, we get a receipt and the shovels, 2 pieces, and a box of metal. But how are we supposed to get the material to Magbil? Oh yes, we've been waiting for the truck, and now it arrives. Anyway, we also get a bag of cement, and one more, and then it doesn't stop at all. For a stable fence, the concrete needs a lot of reinforcement. The parts are quite long, but they will probably be pieced together on site, and the steel rods will hold the wire mesh later. Samura, the head of the construction team, checks whether the order fits the way. The first of 8 loads lies on the truck and makes its way to Magbil. It's a good thing that it's no longer rainy season, the puddles are passable, and the potholes dry. So, we are back in Magbil. The truck is already parked. The handbrake is, engaged. And it's a good thing that there is such a perfect parking space. Meanwhile, not surprisingly, Mama Cabia is greeted in the usual way. People are happy. Their dream is starting to come true. Well, actually, the implementation started earlier. Friends of Mama Cabia have already provided some material, sand stones, and concrete blocks for the wall part. Many concrete blocks are piled up on the site, estimated 2,000 to 3,000. But now it's time to get started.
So now you came to show them the things that you brought. We hand over, we offload, and we go.
First of all, with unloading. To do this, the steel rods are stowed away in a lockable adjoining room, and the cement bags are stacked in the dry and also sealed. A few preparations are still needed. There is still a lot to do before the main work begins. The construction management goes along the property boundary and plans the course of the fence. A few villagers are chopping off wooden poles. What are they for? Ah yes, those will be stems for the pimples. Okay, do-it-yourself is cheaper than buying. Next door, the first workers are trying to bend the wire fasteners, and the boss informs the villagers about the principles of the project.
By now, you should be getting your plantation, and this is why we want this fence.
Who provided the finances for the necessary material?
It's a group, okay? It's a group of people, and it's the Rotary Club. It's a big organization that has given this money to buy these things.
And what about the work performance?
The contribution for the village people is the work. They don't pay for work. It's your contribution.
These have to be paid by the inhabitants of the 26 villages themselves. There's no money for that.
Look, we are going to start the fencing on Monday. Come at the young foundation.
The day after tomorrow, it starts. And that is with the clearing of the area on which there are bushes, trees, a pile of stuff, and strange stones. But we'll get to that in a moment. That's what even the, well, let's say, district administrator of the area came for, to watch. The whole action is not easy. The bushes don't like to give up. The trees are stubborn. A pile of material has to be taken away. And what is that? A landmark? That can't be true. It's not. This was a house of the previous occupants, termites. Well, they have to move. At the end of the day, the space is cleared and the course of the fence can be staked out. The workers push in 2 poles, tension 2 ropes, and spread the marking for the foundation between them. And then the pimples that have just been made come into play. As I said, trees are stubborn, even when they are under the surface. The foundation is taking shape. In the course of the day, the truck brings a load of foundation stones, throws them into the yard, and disappears again. The hard work won't run out anytime soon. I have to leave that day. This does not stop the work on the fence for Magbil, but only my film work.
So we say many thanks, and I want you to express this thanks from the women to the people, to Lena, because she is really the key. And we are very grateful.
Mama Cabia continued to send me photos showing the progress. Another 6 truckloads will bring material and
we will continue with what we have, but we hope when we get to the end, you people will continue to help us.